Hello, I'm Francis.
And I'm Stuart. Welcome to our channel.
And we are having a baby!
So that is the big news of 2012.
Wrong year, darling. 2021.
I'm such a dyslexic. It's actually
you know,
a joke.
it's quite interesting because 2012 we were like 1 year into a relationship, and do you think we even talked about babies back then?
I don't know if we did.
I think you've always we were comfortable talking about babies, but what we're going to do in this video is we're going to just give you like a crash course to where we are in the surrogacy process, and we will do like smaller, like shorter videos so you can fully understand it, because
this is a minefield. When we first in lockdown, so basically I'll tell you the story. So lockdown happened, it was me and Francis in the house, and I was like, this is boring.
Stuart's always like on to the next project. So the project at that time was Operation Wedding, and then of course 2020 cancelled the wedding. So sad.
It was going to be like the most gigantic, wonderful wedding you've ever seen in your life.
But what we've decided to do, if you're worried about our wedding, is that we've decided we're going to do it when our kids are like 2 and 3, so they can experience it. So don't worry, that will be coming.
That's still coming as well. So that YouTube, even more YouTube footage.
So Stuart was spending time scrolling, and he probably just came into the room and was like, right, so let's have a baby. And then we start to make it happen.
You say it like that though, but this has been a process that we have talked about for years and years and years. And actually, my dad lived with us a few years ago, and it was something we discussed with him as well. And I was just like, right, this is the time, here and now. I spoke to one of our best friends. She's like, what are you waiting for, Stuart? Just go for it, because it's going to be a long process, I should imagine. So it's not going to just like all of a sudden have a baby. So
I suppose the first thing really
I got to research.
Yeah, it was research, because as a gay couple, we can't have babies naturally. So, and I actually had no idea about the process or how it worked. So we started researching, and the main thing we came across really was that the US was really the place that was kind of the best to kind of start the surrogacy process.
And we wanted to make sure that we had everything legally done, because this is, I feel like you're probably going to experience all of this, but I feel like emotionally we're going to be feeling charged for the next year.
Well, we're both.
I wanted to make sure that. Sorry.
So I was just going to say, we're both Cancerians, so if you're into star signs, we're really sensitive, and even our dog is really sensitive. So, and there will be tears.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that everything was like perfectly contracted, and you can't do that in the UK. So we literally started researching in America, and the one thing is that both myself and Francis are so like passionate about girl power and women in being empowered, and we didn't want to feel at any point in this process that we were manipulating women, or what's the right word? It's not manipulating. Like
misusing?
No.
Taking advantage.
Taking advantage of any female species, because we absolutely love women. So we wanted to make sure that everybody was doing it for the right reasons. And I felt that in America, they were getting paid well and they were doing it. So that's where we kind of like started the campaign of baby Armfield Haugen.
Yeah, so we started looking, we decided that's going to be the surname, and we're not going to drop one. So we started looking online, and the thing that we kind of learned was that there are surrogacy agencies in the US, and we kind of had different like Zoom calls with different agencies, and then we kind of found one that we really liked, and they said that obviously they take care about the finding the surrogate and stuff, but we had to find an egg donor and also find a doctor.
So an IVF doctor.
Yeah.
And so we had this call with this IVF doctor over in America in San Diego Fertility Clinic, and we got on Zoom, and he had all I can remember is that he had all of these certificates behind him, and I was like, he knows what he's doing. And then we started speaking to him, and me and Francis just love being able to speak to someone, connect with them, and have that kind of instant reaction. So I came off that Zoom call and was like, I said to Francis, he is our doctor. And you'll get to know us more throughout this YouTube, but that is one thing that like I am quite quick at going, that's the one. And when me and Francis went on our first date, I think it was date 2 or 3, I was like, you're the one.
I know.
You're the one. This is it. This is it. I was slightly tipsy. I don't know if that helped my intuition.
But I think for us, like, connection with the person is really, really important.
Yeah.
Like, they could be like the best in the world, but if we didn't like them as people, then, you know, this is a really like emotional process. So we had to make sure we really liked who we were connecting with. So,
but I think we got lucky with this doctor because he is amazing. As well as being really personable, he also is a fantastic. Every single person we speak to is like, he's the best. He's so good. So
we chose our doctor. So then it was about choosing the egg donor. Now this is like, I want you to imagine like Tinder. We've been together 11 years, so we've never
missed Tinder.
We missed
so
Tinder.
Annoying. Miss Tinder, Miss Hinge, Miss
Grindr.
Grindr, all of them.
So it was literally like Tinder for egg donors. So you get to see their profile. This is why we wanted to do it in America, because you really get to see everything about the person. You get to see their profile, you know, their education, their, you know, the family medical history, their interests, why they're doing it. So we would spend like, well, Stuart really was the
You didn't do anything.
No, I wasn't really. I don't like researching. So Stuart would like go through thousands.
I was literally going through page after page after page of women, and it was so crazy because you're looking at these people and you're like, this person is going to be part of our child. So it's a really important process, part of the process.
But we learned when we spoke to one of our friends who's a doctor, and she's like really into medicine and education. And we learned when we were talking about it, when we'd finally chosen an egg donor, she was like, so kind of where did they, you know, what their education?
What's their education?
And we were like
oh.
We got to look.
Hadn't even looked into that bit at all.
No.
What I was looking at was face structure. I wanted to have high cheekbones because I've got quite like heavy eyelids as well. I really wanted to make sure they had like Francis's eyelids.
And we kind of looked to see if they had some sort of creativity in them.
Yeah, we wanted them to be creative. That's one thing we looked for.
Yeah, so that was really important. And the great thing about this process, doing it in the US as well, you actually get to have Zoom calls with these girls. So it's really weird because, you know, I have, most of my friends are women, but getting on a Zoom call with someone and, you know, I love getting to know someone, but really it's not really about their personality, it's about their bone structure.
No, but it is about their personality.
It is, but
we want them to have a nice, we don't want to be like serial killers.
You know, we don't want to be serial killers. But sometimes they're on the call and you're like, could you just turn to the left? I just want to see the structure.
Could you stand up, turn around, so we can see how big your butt
We didn't do that, of course. So let's talk about the egg donor quickly, because that was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah. We're going to like keep you up to date. Mm-hmm. So we chose our first egg donor we absolutely loved, and she was amazing. A little bit like, when I look back at her personality though, a little bit shy, a little bit withdrawn, like held.
Yeah.
She didn't really give too much away, and so that was our first egg donor. So she went through the whole process of the medical checks and everything, and we got to the legal side of things, and then she ghosted the agency, and we were like, oh my god, have we done something wrong? Have we been too full on?
I think, and up until that point, we had already had our sperm checked. We went to a doctor in the UK to get our sperm checked and our blood checked and all those kind of things. We had like a tester. You have to put your saliva in a thing, in a little tube, and send it off.
A DNA test
to see if you're a carrier for any conditions, because you can't have the same condition as your egg donor. We'll go into this more, but we had that. So everything was going kind of swimmingly. We'd given our sperm. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, I can't
wait for that story.
It's hilarious.
And
we did that in Spain as well.
So we were at the point, and we actually had started having interviews, and we'd found a potential surrogate in the UK, in the US. So we were like, go, 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 go. And this was in September 2020. And then she pulled out, and then it literally just
everything went boom.
I think it's important to know, like, we're probably quite idealistic. We've got really ideals about, you know, we want our children to be born here and this, but it kind of was a lesson to us to like, this is nature, and you just have to kind of let the process be what it is. And because there are ups and downs, there are changes of course, like it's not going to be perfect. So.
And what I realised about myself also is I love to micromanage. So I'm trying to micromanage every single part of the process, and actually you can't do that in this situation. So she pulled out on us, which is absolutely fine, because we want someone that actually wants to do it, number one. Mm-hmm. And so we then went back to the drawing board and started looking for another egg donor. Whilst we were doing that, one of our, like a side curve, is one of our friends said, listen, I actually would be open to carrying your baby. And we were like, are you actually joking?
Yeah, honestly, I remember Stuart was away and he gave me a call and told me that this friend had told him, and I didn't believe him. I was like, great, how funny, so nice, so, you know, because they'd been out and had a few drinks. And he called me the next day and they were like, no, she's serious. And this was I'm quite like Stuart's kind of comes up with the ideas and I follow along with them, and then I'm all set on that idea. So suddenly I was having to like change the whole way this was going to work.
It was a big change for me as well, because when you think you're going to do everything in America, and then a friend says, actually, I'll do it for you here in the UK. And so we didn't even look into the UK because the laws are so like they're just not tangible here. And so
that's, I mean,
we
that's
really
another
looked
interesting
into it.
video about that as well.
Yeah, and then we spoke to our a lawyer here in the UK, and he said absolutely go for it. So that's the curveball, is that we're actually having a baby now in the UK, but the egg donor process is still going to be in America. So we found another beautiful egg donor. I'm actually more excited about her than even the first
Everything's
one.
meant to be.
I just trust always that everything always works out for us. It's like mine and France's philosophy for life, is that even when you can't see it in that moment, it's always happening for the good. What were you saying last night about, do you believe that the world is a...
do you believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe?
Oh, I love that.
And I believe we
live in a very friendly one. So it obviously is all going to work out for us. And so where we are, so this is like the longest video ever, but where we are in the process right now is we found another amazing egg donor who I just truly believe is going to give us the most beautiful children, and creative and fun and full of energy. And she's based over in America, so she's actually going to go in to get her egg retrieval this month in January, which is so exciting. So she starts the process in about 15 days to get that to retrieve the eggs. Then
our surrogate in the UK has had medical checks, and we're just kind of waiting for that one to be cleared. They seem to be really happy with her.
Yeah, they told her she had a beautiful womb, which was thrilling.
Thrilling. I've never talked so much about wombs and vaginas.
And
it's been so good. And the third thing is our sperms are ready in the US, ready to go. So we should be in a place in the next month, by February, to create embryos and have our children on ice waiting for us.
Yeah, so that is where we're at right now. We're going to go into much more detail about the surrogacy process, because I want you to understand how amazing this time is. And if you have got infertility issues, or you're struggling in any way in this area, whether you're gay or straight or whatever, I want this to be a channel where you can come and know that anything is possible. Because we're living in the most exciting time in history. It really is. So we'll go into more detail about that, but that's kind of like an overview of where we're at in the surrogacy process right now. It's so exciting, so nerve-wracking, and we're just at the I feel like we're at the very, very beginning still.
Yeah, and you're going to see lots of emotion going on this year, but I know that it's going to be our best year yet.
Yeah, it can't be any worse than 2020.
I'm so glad a baby wasn't created in 2020.
Yeah, we were like, well, by the end of the year, we were like, we don't want the egg donor to do the egg retrieval until actually 2021. We don't want anything to do with 2020.
Just get rid of that energy. So anyway, we're so excited to share our journey. Over and out for us. Please like and subscribe to keep updated with our journey. We're going to give you some good stuff.
Like and subscribe.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.